Hi, welcome to the TMC Newsroom. I'm Greg Galitzine. Joining me right now is John Stewart, the Senior Director and General Manager of the wireless business for Juniper Networks. John, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Fine, thank you very much. Perhaps you can share a little insights in sort of the ongoing transformation in global operators and what you're seeing from your perspective at Juniper.
Sure. So we see kind of two simultaneous transformations that are happening. One technology transformation and the other business transformation. On the technology transformation, it's what I think most of the world is familiar with, the move to mobility and broadband data.
Right.
That's a huge transformation, and it's having a huge impact on the architecture of the network, and most excitingly, the rich applications that are available to subscribers. So that's kind of one area of transformation. The second is business, and it's partially driven by that technology transformation. But when you look at Google Android, iPhone, associated app stores, and you compare the business model and the very complicated value chain that exists in that world compared to the past, it's a huge transformation, and there's lots of opportunity, but there is also lots of change to navigate through in the coming years.
Sure. Okay, so with regard to the technology side of the equation, what's Juniper doing that our viewers might want to be aware of?
Probably one of the most relevant. As we move to mobile broadband data, the pressure on the backhaul part of the network is tremendous. We hear a lot about that at this show and in previous shows. And so earlier this year, Juniper started shipping a backhaul solution to simultaneously support the move to broadband. In other words, turn up significantly the bandwidth that's available, and at the same time create a new cost structure. That's one of the most economically unsustainable parts of the network.
Right.
And so with the backhaul solution, we're able to get to a much more sustainable cost point.
Okay, and how does that translate onto the business side of the challenges that are facing operators?
Well, the business side, so on the OpEx side, I think that's very relevant. So the backhaul solution does help on the business side. But in the business model sense, there's an entirely separate set of offerings. We have a rich portfolio of what we call identity and policy software. So this is a part of the network where you authenticate users, where you dynamically manage policy to create new services. And fundamentally, what that does is it allows the mobile operator to kind of keep their place firmly in the value chain, this more complicated value chain, be able to deploy services a lot more quickly, be able to monetize them, build them, support content partnerships, and that's part of the business that we're really excited about.
Right, and I guess from the actual end user perspective, the operator needs to know who they are, and that's how it does it, and to know what they're allowed to do on the network.
That's exactly
what
right.
services they've paid for or not paid for, what they're, what they can expect back.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's about knowing who the user is. There's also in the vein of convergence. Maybe if you're using your DSL service at home and then you move to using internet from a mobile device, knowing that you're actually the same person from two different devices is something else that this identity and policy part of the solution can offer. So yeah, everything you just talked about is absolutely an important part of that.
And as the world moves to this sort of three-screen model, right, where you have your handset, your PC, and your I guess your TV screen at the end of the day, different devices, same person, very important to know all those factors. Yeah,
called federated identity. It's something that we've had a lot of activity in recent years, and with the convergence that's definitely happening, it's a strong ingredient to make sure that the subscribers are happy and that the services make sense to them, very usable services.
Right. Okay, so just quickly, as we look down the road, what can we expect to see from Juniper in a sort of short time frame, 6 months, 12 months, that type of thing?
I think increasingly you'll see us have more tangible solutions in the area of basically mobile broadband data. Juniper is all about IP, all about broadband, and that's exactly the transformation that the wireless industry is going through. So we're definitely kind of meeting in the middle here in terms of what the wireless world needs and what our portfolio has to offer, and so we're going to be making investments to add more and more tangible solutions in that area.
Excellent. Well, John, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Talking with John Stewart of Juniper Networks. I'm Greg Galitzine, the TMC Newsroom.